Hello and welcome. I am Deji Barimasi. Nigeria's presidential election campaigns have officially kicked off ahead of the 2023 general election. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has cleared 18 candidates to run for the presidency, while 4,223 candidates are also running for federal positions in the February 2023 polls. Now, politicians will have to engage in open display now of their manifestos and ideas about what they have to offer Nigerians if voted for. Insecurity, unemployment, and of course a worsening economic outlook are among the issues the candidates are expected to address to convince Nigerians of their competence to handle these issues. For the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP), a full-blown campaign has already been launched as the party's bigwigs are already in the nation's capital for a concerted campaign effort. The ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) is still putting plans in place and has decided to postpone its campaign to a much later date. That's the launch now, the formal launch of its campaign. Now, for the third force parties, such as the Labour Party, the Social Democratic Party, and others, all of them are making efforts to make themselves visible for Nigerians in preparation for the polls. As a matter of fact, the Labour Party has already hit the ground running, campaigning vigorously. The presidential candidate of that party has been crisscrossing the country even before now, basically campaigning for votes. Now, the question a lot of people are asking is whether the coming campaigns we're going to see will be based on issues or basically will be about, mudslinging and all of that. Well, we'll wait and see. Of course, everyone expects that the campaign will be based on issues so that Nigerians will be able to make up their mind and then decide who to vote for, especially for the presidency. Joining me now to discuss all of this and more is political affairs analyst Abubakar Kari. He joins us from Abuja. Mr. Kari, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Going forward, now that campaigns have begun, what do you expect to see?
Well, I expect the political parties to hit the ground running. Some of them have, like the PDP and the Labour Party. And this time around, they have 150 days to convince the electorate to vote for them. So what I'm expecting in the coming days, which we have already started witnessing, is a very busy schedule for the political parties, staging campaign rallies, canvassing for votes, jamborees, razzmatazz, colorful advertisement on radio, television, and the newspapers and the social media. The season of politicking is on, and everybody is feeling it. So it is something that we have been expecting for long, and it has just come. I also expect the political parties to unfold their agenda to the electorate, to tell Nigerians what they have for them, to make the usual promises, but this time around, they should be able to make persuasive promises and promises that they are ready to walk their talk.
Now, how much of an issue-based campaign do you think we're going to see?
Well, for me, there are two categories of campaign issues all over the world, particularly in third world countries like Nigeria. On the one hand, we have the conventional campaign issues, which are directly related to social, political, and economic conditions of the people, issues like the economy, employment, provision of this and that, issue of security or insecurity, the state of the economy, and so on and so forth. On the other hand, we also have the emotive issue, the so-called primordial factors, which are actually always at the ascendancy, and which in this part of the world are actually the major issues, even though that is not necessarily healthy for the polity. I'm talking of issues like ethnicity, like religion, like sex, like region, and so on and so forth. All of them are likely to come into play, and all of them are likely to make an impact once again in the electoral process.
Of course, earlier today, the candidates, the 18 candidates now, presidential candidates, were in Abuja, where they signed that peace accord now. Of course, one of the big talking points of that ceremony is the absence of the presidential candidate of the APC. His deputy actually represented him. What do you think that what message do you think that sends out?
Well, for optic sake, it's a very good move. It is very, very symbolic for the political parties to be committed to sign an agreement. They will run an issue-based and rancor-free and peaceful political campaign. And it's good that this time around it started on the eve of the campaign itself and not necessarily on the eve of the election. 150 days is a very long time. Anything can happen. We wouldn't want to see recriminations, even though they are part of politics, but it should be done in a very healthy way. The absence of Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I don't think is so fundamental. At least he was represented by his vice presidential candidate, Senator Kashim Shettima. However, it is very, very important for Ashwaju Ahmed Tinubu to begin to make himself visible. Otherwise, the narrative by the opposition that not ready or is not healthy or he's not in good spirit will run away. So it is very, very important for him to come and appear and talk to Nigerians and join the campaign physically and visibly. And I'm sure he can.
The truth is that some of the candidates before now, even though campaigns had not officially opened before now, some of them had actually been campaigning, and somehow, even though quite a number of them have not unveiled their manifesto officially now, we know what they're talking about. I mean, you must have listened to all the candidates, you've listened to what they're saying and all of that. Do you think there's any particular difference at all in all they've been saying?
Well, certainly so far, no. There have been generalities. We want them to talk specifically. They have been virtually saying this in different ways. And that is why in this 150 or so days, we want them to come out very, very clearly and tell us how they differ from one another in terms of programs, in terms of manifesto, in terms of what they want to do to Nigerians, in terms of their political beliefs and political ideas. But so far, what they have been doing dovetails into what we have been saying over the years, that we have a mono-ideological position in Nigeria. We want the different political parties to come clearly and tell us that we are different from party A and or B and C because we are this. This is what we want to do, and concretely, not mere sloganeering, not empty promises, not making pledges that they will come back later only to die. So far, they have been saying the same thing. We want to see remarkable differences between and among the different political parties.
So going forward, what would you say are your hopes and fears?
Well, let me begin with the fears first. I envisage a very keenly contested, a keen race. For me, it is still a two-horse race, but it is crystallizing into a 3 or 4 horse race. And the primordial issues are gaining ascendancy, and this is quite worrisome. I'm talking of the issue of religion, issue of ethnicity, issue of region, and also the crises within the major political parties are compounding the problem. So we have to, as much as possible, pray that there will be no breakdown of order, there will be healthy politicking, less mudslinging around. They should appeal to the citizens and not to appeal to their best instinct. As for my hope, so far so good. We have had an unbroken democratic rule since 1999, which is the longest in the country's history. We hope and pray that 2023 come, there will be an election, and the election will be free, fair, transparent, credible, and peaceful. And why not? We can make it, and we should get it.
Abubakar Kari, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much. All right, we'll take a short break now, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.